The Haven project has a problem. Their relatively small staff, coupled with the fact that they serve literally thousands of youths through multiple different programs, generates an enormous amount of data that's hard to handle, making it difficult to pick out the different sets of values each specific grant is looking for, which data values show positive growth, how to compile that into a graph to show donors, and so on. Right now, the solution has been a case management tool called Apricot, which hasn't been used much and for good reason. It's complicated and confusing, with some users even receiving extensive, expensive training. However, Apricot itself is the most significant cost, and while their pricing isn't public, similar tools go for around $500 to over $2,000 a month, exacerbating existing cost issues such as keeping the Haven Cafe in business. We asked ourselves, how can we join these ambitious non-technical workers with these large technical databases? Our answer is to use an MCP server, which basically communicates with users in plain English, but at the same time, it can execute a set of predefined tools we've given it that control, modify, and analyze the underlying database. Specifically, our framework looks like this, with Grok as our language model, a Debian server I have in my dorm room serving the application and hosting the MCP, and a PostgreSQL database running on Supabase. Our solution is cost effective. These models are both powerful and cheap, where hundreds of requests convert to just cents on the dollar. It's user friendly, not just because of the UI, but because our model has access to every part of the application. Notice that it's also completely opaque about its tool usage, reducing potential mistakes. Finally, it's scalable because it's both open source and we've written a pretty detailed guide to set up Haven Bridge exactly how we did it. You could do this for a nonprofit in Chicago, New York, and so on. And most importantly, each nonprofit independently owns their setup. No more third party companies like Bonterra. The main feature of Haven Helper includes the assistant, which uses the tools from our MCP server to query the database. So you can say like, get all the clients that need housing. It searches both the housing opportunities stored in the database and the client information. There's also a specific tool to get one patient's information, shown here. Of course, you can also look through the various data points yourself through the various tabs on the left side. So tasks, patients, housing opportunities, grants. We also have a special MCP tool that generates a risk assessment after the model queries a patient's information. We've included a tool for pretty much anything you can modify in the database. So adding a new grant, adding a new housing opportunity, adding a new field for client information. So you can do all those and they update once you navigate back to their respective tabs. This is Haven Helper. Thanks for watching.